Cause I'm black, look at the black, the nigga black, look at the black, the nigga I'm black, look at the black, the nigga black, the nigga black, the nigga I'm black and I'm brown, I'm black and I'm brown, I'm black and I'm brown, I'm black and I'm brown. You got to shake, shake, they want the black, cause I'm black, nigga the black, the black, nigga the black. I can never be white, the white.
Zari will be off camera tonight, so visually I'm gonna set this up, and you'll see how it all will look good at the very end. Let me get this view to speak.
But are you gonna use me on camera?
No, you're gonna be on camera.
Okay, just making sure. Last time I was given very much through the grapevine.
I feel like we dodged a lot of bullets. Like, we put ourselves in situations that could have really ended badly, and they didn't. I don't know if it was God. I don't know who it was. She, he, her, whatever, was watching. But I remember me and, I mean, especially in college, you just meet new people. You're in situations, and you probably wouldn't put yourself in that situation if your parents were around. I remember me and my friend, well, I won't name any names, but me and my friend, we like got on these motorcycles with these random men. Mind you, they were not in college, they were men. And we like rode around Richmond, and they could have kidnapped us. They could have, like, our bodies could have been in a river somewhere and nobody would know. I mean, we had one other friend who knew we went, but I think she knew them from something, but I didn't know them from anything. So,
and sharing the location wasn't a thing then.
Right, exactly. Sharing the location wasn't a thing. I don't even think I had an iPhone at the time. I don't even know. But I'm saying is that was scary. Looking back on that, like, girl, why? I was just thinking, like, I've never been on a motorcycle before. Like, I'm trying to get on here and have some fun. Like, and it was scary. I could have, like, we could have gotten an accident. Anything could have happened. None of that, thank goodness, didn't happen. And I'm still here to tell the tale. But, I would hope that Zoe uses a little bit more common sense, because your girl wasn't thinking. I was just thinking of FUN fun, and I wasn't thinking of any of the consequences. So that's a PG story. Okay, I'll leave some others for other situations.
Before you take over, Sarah, let me ask you this then. You know how you always have like that one person growing up that shares like their experiences with you, like an aunt, or some woman that's your mom's best friend or something like that, and they share these experiences and it sounds so much fun, they sound so worldly and so cultured, and you're like, damn, I want to have that type of fun at some point in my life. As a mom with a daughter, like, where do you draw the line between like wanting them to have that kind of fun and that type of experience to be worldly, but then also like your safety is important?
Right. So just teaching them tricks of like watching the door, like, don't leave your drink at the bar, like, leave it with somebody you trust. The people who are around you, your friends. And I think maybe that's why I was so comfortable with going with them, because I trusted the person that I was with who knew them. You know what I'm saying? So, and still, like I said, that was a misjudgment on my part doing that in general. But just making sure she's aware of her surroundings. Where are you? Who's like when I would go on dates and, my friends weren't there, like I would text them the license plate. Like, where are we going? Right. Who is he dropping me off with, to? Like, I'm home now. Like, texting multiple people. Like, this is where I'm going. I got here at X amount of time. We did X these things. This who's watching, all those things, like texting everything. And even a friend, sent me something like, if you are in a situation of distress and your phone is getting ready to die, leave a message, a voicemail. Like, this is where I am. This is what time it is. My phone is about to die. I'm walking to this place. My car battery died. So I told Zoe that as well. Like, if anything was to happen, you get on the train, your phone's about to die. Like, look, this is where I got off at least I can find you. I can track you. I can call the police. I can tell them exactly what happened and all that. So just really giving her those tips and tricks. Yes, you can have fun. We don't want to scare you, like I said before, but we want to make sure that you're aware of your surroundings because we want to prevent crazy, weird stuff from happening. Hope that answered the question. That was a lot.
No, it did. It did.
Okay.
It made me think about the experience you and I shared with that Chris Brown situation.
Girl, I was gonna say that, but I was like, I don't know if Tim wants me to put that information out in there.
I'm not embarrassed about it. It happened. It is what it is. I was embarrassed at the moment, but now that I'm older, it's a part of history.
It was embarrassing, but
is that a story for a different time?
We can, Asia, would you like to share?
Sure. So we used to have model practice at, what gym was that? MCV? I don't know, one of those gyms. And so when Chris Brown was not working, I guess it was after the Rihanna situation, he would come and like play basketball at the gym. And so one of our little thirsty, again, I won't name no names, but she wanted to go with him. So he would pick up girls and take him to his house like every other day or whatever. And so she was like, come on, y'all, let's go. Like, it's going to be fun, blah, blah, blah. And we like, at first I was like, girl, I'm not really for this. But if Tempest was like, okay, like, maybe I'll go. Like, like if I'm with the person I trust, then I'm a little bit more, whatever. And so we're young. We're like, oh, it's the opportunity to meet Chris Brown, whatever. So it's like 3 cars. We go down Broad Street and we get to, I don't know what street that was, but we were about to turn off Broad Street. And me and Tempest looked at each other and I was like, girl, this don't feel right. Like they was running lights. They were like, yes. And so I was like, I think we need to get out now because after we turn off this Broad Street, I don't know where we're going after that. So we jumped out the car real quick. The girl was like, hurry up and get out. Like, or whatever she was saying, I don't know. But then Tempest called one of her line sisters to come pick us up. And we were just like, dodged a bullet for sure. Because it was starting to feel weird.
Was Chris Brown around?
He was in one of the cars, wasn't he?
They was downstairs in the bottom half of the gym playing basketball when we were having practice. Right. And someone was like, oh, Chris Brown sees us upstairs practicing and wants us to come to his house. And we were like, in my mind, I was like, oh, this is a chance to put the troop on. He'll put us in one of his videos. Like, that's where my mind went, right? Like business. Girl, when they started running red lights, seeing if we were going to follow them, I was like, oh, this is a lot. So
it was in the late night.
It was very late night. And we were on Broad Street. We were right near the Goodwill, actually, on Broad.
Yes, we were.
And I just remember turning to her and being like, let us out. Like, let us out.
Right. I don't even know if we spoke words. I don't even remember, but I just remember looking at you and I was just like, I got to get out this car.
Silent.
I got to get out of this car.
I just felt the spirit was like, get your ass out this car.
Yes, yes.
That's all it took. That's all you need.
Same.
I turned to her. I was like, girl, you got to let me out right here. Like, we got to get out. She didn't slow down, though. Do you hear? Like, she pushed.
She did not.
No, she did not.
She did not slow down.
She was like, get out. And she's like pushing. Yes.
She
made it to Chris Brown's house. She was not going to miss that opportunity.
She did.
Later, we found out she was a stripper, and it all made sense. So
right, facts.
Okay,
facts.
All right.
Facts. Yeah. And then with all these stories coming out, I'm not saying, all these stories coming out of people, in these kind of situations. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't go.
Amen to that.
Because nothing could have happened, but still, was just weird.
Something also could have happened.
True. That was a weird situation.
The both of us were in the car, like, it was silent. We were listening. She was driving down on this car, like trying to keep up with the entourage. She was speeding, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this was very thirsty. I feel like I'm doing a lot.
Yes,
it doesn't feel good.
Yes, it did not feel good at all. It did not feel good.
Don't judge us, but we just got dropped off on the corner.
Like, hey girl, what
He literally pulled up and said, "What the hell was y'all doing?" We were like, "Girl,
Right.
go see Chris Brown," and she just looked like, "Get y'all asses in this car."
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Lord,
I'll share that story with Cody on another day.
yeah, same.
Very, very embarrassing at the time. Like, I think everybody laughed at us for a good couple days after that.
They did. They definitely did. They definitely did. They definitely did.
But you made it out.
We made it out.
We made it out. We made it out.
Better. We knew better. Something said you get out the car.
Right.
We didn't even say anything to each other, but the fact that we both felt it, it was like,
yes.
Yeah, we got to go.
We gotta go. We had to jump out. And I felt no shame at the after. I did not feel like I missed anything. It was totally fine.
I couldn't believe she like threw us out the car like that. Like
she definitely did. She was like, "Get out, get out, get out." I was like, "Ooh." It was like, okay. And that's exactly why I don't need to go, because you didn't give a shit about us on the look.
No, you know how when like somebody speed off, the door's open, but it slams behind them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think I got a chance to close the door. It didn't slam hard, but it was like she was not slowing down. It was like,
she was not.
Put out my car. Like, I'm gonna make it.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
It was a wild time.
I wonder how she's doing now.
Oh, girl.
So I come from a very, very, very sheltered household. So I didn't, meaning like my mom's first boyfriend is my dad. Like, they've been together since she was 16. So my mom, she says things to me based off of like, oh, well, my sisters, or like her aunt, or her sisters, my aunts. Well, I remember when your aunt blah 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 was out in the streets doing this and that. So be careful when you go off to college, just check your surroundings. And if you want to go out, my mom was never a partier, she was never a clubber, so she didn't go out a lot. So the life lessons that she taught me was kind of already like with me in the midst of things. Like, I'm already at the club. Oh, I've already, done this, or I've already done that. So, she tried to teach me those lessons, but I'm like, girl, you are a little too late for that. Like, I've already been down the path. And I kind of wish that she was a little more transparent with me in college. And I don't know, I have an older sister, so I don't know if she kind of had those conversations with my sister growing up. And with me being the baby, she was kind of like, oh, this is going to always be my baby, so I'm not going to even go down that route. But I was never, she never really taught me anything as far as, just make sure you're a good girl. Don't get in no trouble. Don't bring no babies home. Like, that was always her thing. Don't bring no babies home, and be careful. There was never a very transparent moment between me and my mom until like I got to college, and after I had already experienced a lot of things, if that makes sense. So, it was kind of like I was learning on my own, with her also kind of like telling me some things in the back of my mind. But I'm like, well, Ma, I've already been down that path. So
yeah,
I appreciate you telling me, but I kind of wish you would have told me a little sooner. So I had to figure a lot of things out on my own. If that makes sense.
How have your own experiences with sexuality and identity, since you had to self-educate yourself, how will they affect the way that you raise your daughter?
I'm going to be very transparent with my baby. By the time she gets to high school, we're going to have those uncomfortable conversations. I never had the uncomfortable conversation with my mom until I got to college. And this is how it started. I said, Mom, I think I need to go on birth control. I said, so I could regulate my period. But that's when she kind of opened up the question to, oh, well, are you sexually active? And I'm like, I just need to go on birth control. Like, so I think that with me, as my baby gets older, I need to have those hard conversations with her, especially with these kids moving a lot faster these days. I need to make sure that she is comfortable enough with coming to me and asking me those questions that I was afraid to ask my mom, or that my mom never kind of like brought up to me. So I think for me, I need to work a little bit sooner than adulthood to have those conversations with her on being careful.
So why high school if we know that, and as a former educator, if these children are so advanced and they're talking about sex starting in elementary school nowadays because they're exposed to so much, why wait till high school?
It's a good question. I don't know. I think because I still want to protect her innocence in a way that if I were to bring it up when she goes to middle school, I feel like I'm opening her mind up to um I guess like wanting to know more about it, which I mean, like I just don't want her to be in that space. Like, if there's a moment where she does come to me and she like says like, "Oh, mom, what's a penis?" Like, okay, then sure, I'm gonna, we're gonna have that conversation. But I kind of want to keep her innocence up until that age, or up until she gets to high school. Because for me, I thought I was pretty innocent. A lot of the girls that I went to school with, middle school, not quite, but I never in my mind had those like feelings of wanting to explore more until I got to high school. So I think for me, I want to protect her innocence for as long as I can. And I feel like, you know, high school age is probably the safest time to do it. I hope. I hope. I don't know. I'm scared, y'all.
There's no play, Sarah. There's no playbook, girl. We out here trying to figure it out.
I mean, like, I'm just looking at her. I'm like, girl, you're 2 years old. I need you to stay 2 for as long as you can, because I don't know what to do by the time she's 8. Like, I'm just.
So I'm a little closer to it since she's 14. Which we've had conversations about sex before, very openly, and I think a lot of that is because they already have those conversations at school. So they talk about health, they talk about consent, they talk about all those things. So when she brings those things up to me, and that's kind of how I wanted to approach it, not saying that I wasn't going to bring it up to her, but I would, with my parents, I had bad experiences with talking about sex. So I remember, I think I might have been like 17 or 18. And my mom was like, there was like a STD commercial. And she was like, "Do you know what an STD is?" And I was like, "Girl, first of all, I'm 18. If I don't know what an STD is, then you might want to call somebody." Like,
Right.
like, why are you asking me this now? Like, this is a conversation that should have happened 5 years ago. Like, what's happening? So so I like the fact that they talk about that at school. It's more of an education piece right now, as opposed to, I mean, they even talk about like pornography and how, sex isn't about you know what I'm saying? Like the literacy piece, because kids this age are watching pornography. They have access to internet. Yeah, they have access to internet. They talk about that. And so I had the conversation with her, like, that's not real sex. That's for show. So don't think that that is what sex is about, because a lot of kids do think that is what it is. So first I want to do the education piece, of course. Hold on, let me close this door, y'all. I want to do the education piece first. And then, and this might be radical, but I want to make sure that she can satisfy herself.
Okay.
Without having to someone else. If that makes sense. Because I feel like I didn't have anybody to talk to me about that. And that might be weird to people. Like, why are you even opening that up? But I feel like when you are chasing something from somebody else, whether it be a man, woman, whatever, you get more attached to that person. I don't know. It's like there's like a need, instead of like we're there to like pleasure each other. Is more like I'm attached to you. Like you, if you have sex with the first person and you're like, "Oh my God, I'm obsessed with them." Like they break up with you, then the world's ending, and it's like I want her to be able to to bring that to herself without having someone else there.
Right.
If that makes sense. And that
I
could be
get
very on the left side, but I've really been thinking about that, and I feel like maybe not now, but when she's closer to high school, which is literally next year, we're definitely going to start like 15, 16 having those kind of conversations about that.
I like that though. I mean, I you kind of have to, right? Like you said, you don't want them to feel like they need something outside of themselves. And
Mhm.
for me, like I think I kind of needed that. Like when I got off to college, like I said, I came from a very sheltered household. So when I got to college, I felt like I was missing something, you know? So I was like, okay, well, I need to catch up with the rest of the girls
Mhm.
who conversations with. So I need to go out and explore and do what I need to do so I can, fit into this club and say that I did it too. And even afterwards, I'm like, well, why the hell did you do that? Like that
Yeah.
was stupid of you. Like, and take a moment out to enjoy yourself, to enjoy who you are
Mhm.
and what you are. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. I respect that 1000%. That's definitely something that our parents never taught us,
Mhm.
or because back in the day it's like, oh, that's sinful and that's this and
Yeah. Mhm.
frowned upon. But you got to really think in reality, like this shit is really happening. So
Mhm.
you know you have to find your way to connect and meet her halfway, to meet your kids halfway. And I think that's absolutely amazing. I like that idea 100%.
Because at the end of the day, like I want her to be able to be happy with herself,
Yep.
empower herself. I feel like
Yep.
that's kind of like giving yourself your own power,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to feeling like some man or woman or whatever
Mm-hmm.
has to give you that. Like I already own that. So what you bringing to the table is a plus.
Thank
Like
you.
I don't need that from you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that just like gives you some kind of power, which I was missing
Mm-hmm.
um when I started to be sexually active, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Oh, it does.
Same.
It absolutely does. My grandmother would love this conversation. Taking a derail from being the moderator. She told me when I was, oh my gosh, I can't remember. I was like 19 or something. She said to me while I was off at school, explore your vagina. And at first it took me a minute to like process what that meant. I was like,
Mhm.
go ahead and have a whole out. Like, what do you mean? And when she broke it down, she was like, you don't want some man or woman teaching you what is pleasurable. You
Mhm.
know yourself what you enjoy versus someone trying to say, oh, you need to like it like this, right? And so
Mhm.
when you first hit, you're like, what does that mean? No, you're not about to teach your daughter to go get a dildo and be in her room all hours of the night doing God knows what. That's
Right.
what that is. Like people need to really process what it is that you're saying. What you're saying is that
Mhm.
I want my daughter to self-explore so she knows what feels good to her and someone else isn't teaching
Mhm.
her what should feel good to her. That's how women
Mm-hmm.
end up in situations where they're like, oh, I only like abusive sex. Why?
Yeah.
Right. How did you even get
Because
there?
that's what you used to.
what is that
How
about?
did
Or in situations like R. Kelly situations where
Mm-hmm.
you're like, you don't know nothing else and you think this is normal, even though deep
Mm-hmm.
down inside it feels wrong. But it's like mentally, you just don't know because you're so young and nobody's taught you, nobody said anything to you. And so you got people peeing on you and things, and you think that that's normal sex.
Okay, so everything going on right now,
Yes.
economically, people being concerned about their future employment. How do you balance enjoying life, such as dining out, travel, leisure? How do you balance that in today's current financial climate?
Yeah, I'm excited that we're talking about this. I feel like culturally we just don't talk about money enough.
Denial. I just act like it's not happening. I just can't. Like I'm emotionally exhausted. I just can't. It's too much to think about. I can't be thinking about like, oh my God, is the hammer gonna drop right now? When is and Doge is coming and they're going and then they want me to verify and to check and to say what I did last week and when I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it,
This was
y'all.
right after Beyonce won the Grammy and announced her tour. And they interviewed boomers, and they said millennials were financially messy because they saw the ticket prices for Beyonce's concert and said that millennials do not know how to manage money because there was no concert in boomer history where they spent that much on tickets. So I posed the question to you guys. Do you guys think millennials are financially messy? And are you going to Beyonce's concert?
Yes, I'm going to Beyonce's concert. I don't think the millennials are financially messy. I think that we spend our money on things that our previous generations didn't necessarily spend their money on. First of all, things cost differently than they did back in the day. So
Right.
of course, concerts are more expensive because entertainment and overall is just more expensive. But aside from that, we'd rather spend our money on experiences than some of the other things that that our other generations spent their money on. And Beyonce it's an experience. You know what I mean? Like, now, the Ticketmaster prices were absolutely ridiculous and beyond, like $6,000 to sit on the floor or to stand on the floor, be in the Beehive or the Sweet Honey Hive, whatever the hell that shit was. It was absolutely ridiculous. There's no way. Ain't that much goddamn singing in the world, child, for me to pay $6,000 to see no damn body. So I didn't. So I will be in the 100 level in Chicago, and I paid three something, and I felt like that was a fair price, and I'm going.
I don't know how you found a $300 ticket for the life of me. I looked at a couple memes. Was like, this is
I'll
just
find
too
one
much
for you
work.
right now. I'll try to send it to you. You trying to go to Chicago?
What date is the Chicago show?
May 15th is when I'm going.
I would consider that. But when I was looking at the DC, and I think it was DC, New Jersey, I was like, this is ridiculous. And I could go out of the country for these prices and I'd have to get childcare. Like, it just, to me, it wasn't worth it now. But at a different point in my life, it absolutely would have been. And fuck yeah, I would have spent that money in those tickets.
So now I'm going somewhere with this. So now we done got the ticket. We done booked the airplane. We got our hotel. We put money off to the side for food and beverage while we're out and about. How much are you spending on your look?
However much I need to spend on my look. My goddamn shit is not until May.
To my understanding, Cowboy Carter is a redemption story for people who felt like they didn't give it their all during Renaissance. Do you feel that way?
The first time I went to Renaissance, I gave it my all. The second time I went, it was kind of like, oh shit, shabambu.
Z, since you did not attend the Renaissance because you were definitely pregnant, do you feel like you owe Cowboy Carter a look?
I do, and I'm really sad because, like you said, I missed Renaissance because I was 6 months pregnant. And Cowboy Carter, I just love that album so much. So I probably would give it a little something if I end up going. To me, I feel like a lot of people do shit for social media. It would not be about that. Like, for me, if it enhances my experience, I would do it. But like, it wouldn't be for anything other than that.
Do not show up to the Cowboy Carter roadie assless chaps. Assless chaps. Do not show up to the Cowboy Carter roadie assless chaps. Assless chaps. Cowboy hats, cowboy boots, and literally nothing. Cowboy hats, cowboy boots, and literally nothing. Cowboy hats, cowboy hats, cowboy hat, cowboy hat, leather and lace, 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 every force to ride, and force to ride. And I will not elaborate.
I think I may be in a cowboy hat because I want a cowboy hat just in general. So I think I may be in a cowboy hat, and I think it makes sense. And I see like an all black effect in a cowboy hat, but it's not going to be like hold down Western. Let me put on my plaid situation and some fucking distressed, jeans with a thick ass leather belt and a Texas damn belt buckle and shit like that. It's not giving that. It's not going to be drag. It's not going to be cosplay. If I put on a cowboy hat, it'll be like an outfit like I have on now, and it'll just be a hat on with it. You know what I mean? It'll be like my tribute to the theme and whatever.
If I got anything, like, it would be something that I would be planning to use in my day-to-day life. So like, I could see myself getting a pair of boots just for like doing shit around the house and yard work or whatever. But other than that, no. Like, that just...
Let me tell you, Zariah, please do not be doing yard work in no fucking cowboy hat.
I don't know, boots, not a hat, just boots.
Oh, okay. Oh.
No, I'm not trying to draw that.
I just imagine you pulling weeds in a cowboy hat. Like, what the fuck is going on?
No, I do not need to draw that kind of attention to myself.
The neighbors will talk.
Right.
Now we're going to see how transparent the girls are going to be, okay? Because we kind of answered one of the questions already. Have either one of you had a hoe phase? And if so, would you share that experience with your daughter and the lessons that you learned from it?
100%. So, well, go ahead, Sarah. You go first.
I was gonna say you go first. You can go first. Go right ahead.
Well, first the answer is yes. I mean, I feel like, don't we all? I mean, if you don't, then that's okay too. But I just feel like there was a period in my life where I wasn't monogamous. I wasn't in a relationship. Like, so why not? I mean, niggas do it all the time. Can I say that? Can I say niggas? I mean, niggas do it all the time. So why not? And maybe I won't share all the gory, not saying that they're gory, but like I won't share all the details, but I definitely want her to feel, again, empowered to do so. Like, you don't have to feel like just because this one person, I don't know. I just feel like I want her to be more open. I want her to be happy. I want her to explore things that in a safe way, of course, in a safe, respectable, consentful way. Explore things that seem taboo, but if that's what makes you happy, then why not?
Same. I mean, like I said, I came from a very sheltered household. Like, I could not leave the house and say I was going somewhere without my daddy already knowing where I was supposed to be and what time I need to come back home and how long it was supposed to take me to come back home. Like, it was that sheltered. So when I got to college, baby, I was on that campus and I was like, oh, light, dark, tall,
Right,
short,
right,
like muscular. Okay, let's see what's going on. And I don't want to call it a whole phase. I was exploring, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, how do you know what you like if you don't?
Exactly. And I had a good time exploring. I mean, and we kept it very safe. Like Asia said, as long as you keep it respectable, you keep it safe. Like, yeah, I think that it is fair. Just like she said, guys do it all the time. I feel like women, they need to know what they want. You know, you can't just settle for one little thing. Like, you got to be able to sample.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had that moment. And of course I would, like Asia said, I'm not going to share all of it with my daughter, but you know, I want you to be able to be comfortable and I want you to be able to explore as well in a very safe and respectable way. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy my whole phase. I ain't gonna lie.
Same.
So pivoting from that, when did you, either one of you, get to a point where you said, okay, you know what, I fully love myself and who I am?
For me, honestly, I think during that time, I don't know why, I felt very empowered. I don't know why. It's so weird. Like, I just felt like, okay, this nigga want me, that nigga want me, I want that nigga. I just felt like I had control over what I wanted in my life. And it was, you know, I was a college girl. I was at an HBCU. I was living my best life. My grades were getting better. You know, I started joining organizations. Like, I just felt so empowered in that moment. Like, I just felt like, you know, I was on the set of a different world. And I'm binge watching the show again now. And I'm just like, yes, those were the best times of my life. And I think I felt so empowered. I just felt like this Black educated woman who was going to, you know, storm the campus and just live her best life while also working towards making a difference in her life and making a difference in other lives. I just felt so empowered during those times or during those years that, I mean, honestly, that's probably like the best time I'd ever felt. You know, and with me after having my baby now, I'm like, okay, you got to get back to that. You got to get back to that. You were like the confident bad bitch, like nothing could stop you.
Sarah, you still are, girl. You still are.
Yes. Thank you. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, girl, get yourself together. Okay. You're not just a mom. Okay. You a mom, you this, you like get yourself together. But yeah, I definitely felt like most empowered when I was in college. Like those were the best 4 years of my life.
I would definitely say same. I mean, there was I mean, Tempest, you were there. So we were, we were storming the campus. I mean, the girls, the heels were on, the outfits were, what they were for the time.
We need
Okay.
pictures.
Right. I mean, we were having a time. We were having a good time. Were there some things that I would have done differently? Yes, of course. But I definitely felt like, and it kind of came to a halt quickly because I got pregnant towards the end of that. But I definitely feel like I was finding out who I was, what I liked, what I disliked, what kind of people I wanted around me. My dreams, my aspirations, those things that you don't necessarily talk about or connect to in high school because you got to do this and this and this, and you're in school from and I went to art school, so we were in school till like 6 p.m. Like it was crazy, so which was another good time, but I definitely think college gave us a little bit more freedom to like explore who you want to be and what's important to you and your values, and you're picking up things from your parents or your home life, and picking up things from other people that you meet. I mean, we just got a chance to meet so many different people and that were from different backgrounds and raised in different areas, and then us going to VCU, like we got kind of like both sides of it. Like we weren't all surrounded by Black people, but we were also surrounded by white people, so we got like, I think, the best of both worlds for sure. Now I would have loved
it was like an honorary HBCU.
It really was. It was lit. Like it was a time.
It was like in the heart of all the HBCUs.
Yeah, it was a time for sure. It was a time. So I agree with that. I think those were my most empowering years for sure. Like finding out who I was. I wish I would have got a little bit more of that, but it's okay.
Me too. Got a relationship.
Right.
And things changed. I had to slow down a little bit.
How would we feel about an Act 3 if it was a Destiny Reloaded?
Bitch. That would be sickening.
Now, does everybody get to come? Because there was that one interview where Beyonce said all the girls weren't singing on the album. So who gets to come to the Reload? She made it clear.
Everybody but Farrah. Farrah cannot come.
Controversial statement. I feel like nobody can come but Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle. Personally.
Why do you know that?
I say LaToya Luckett can come, and she can do Torn. Why are you weak? I'm so serious.
Why is she doing that? That's not a Destiny's Child song.
Because I think of course they're gonna do some solo work in there. Michelle can give a Mary Did You Know set. She
got to invite Eve for Kelly. I told her I was gonna bump like this.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so if we're doing that, let's follow my circle back. So now we're circling back to Black Dollars, right? Granted, Beyonce is a standalone artist, and the girls will spend their last. They won't even pay their rent. They'll quit their jobs to go see her.
I've seen the girls get whole credit cards.
Okay. How do you split the bag? Because it's Destiny Reloaded. Does everybody get a fair share, or does Beyonce get a majority of the ticket sales?
I feel like Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle get a fair cut, and then the rest of them.
Why you don't want to give LaToya and LaTavia no love?
Because nobody is coming to see them. Like it's giving anybody coming to see you, Otis. I feel personally, let me rephrase. People may be coming to see them, but there will be no Destiny's Reloaded without Beyonce. So to me,
But then it would be Destiny Reloaded without Michelle, Kelly, Latavia.
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
I'm saying that Latavia could not decide that she was doing, like, people would not be showing up for her. Like, that's just not.
Yeah, no one's coming for Latavia. No one's coming for Latoya.
Is it Latavia?
See, we're messing it up now. Now we're getting into the muck.
It is Latavia, but I'm not like, I don't give a fuck. Mispronounce her name. It doesn't matter. She's not relevant.
So obviously she gets no money. She doesn't get a cut. Okay. Yeah. So percentage wise, okay, Beyonce's not going to shortchange Kelly because that's her ace boon coon, but then that means Michelle gets a cut. But then Latoya also had hits, maybe one or two outside of that as well. So how does the bag get divvied up? Because it's not Destiny Reloaded without the other children.
No, it's not. So what? We're talking about 5 people?
Yes. Well, no, you include Farrah. 6. No, we're not including Farrah. Let's stick to the 5.
Oh, no, we're not including Farrah.
Farrah can work the lights.
Yeah. No. So if it was all even, everybody would get 20%. I think that Beyonce gets 10% from Latoya and Latavia. She gets 40%. And Latoya and Latavia get 10. Kelly and Michelle get 20.
I buy that. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the thing about they can't perform the whole concert, so they can't get a bigger cut than 10%. So, and I'm saying they can't perform the whole concert because they're not on the records. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, a lot of the hit records and shit like that came after that. Writings on the Wall is on. I'm not Writings on the Wall. Jesus, Say My Name is on Writings on the Wall. That's when we first met Michelle. So, you know, Michelle's there from the second album forward. The songs that are on Destiny's Child, No. I mean, they're gonna do that song because that was their first single. But outside of that, you know, it's given. All right, girl, make your way out. Look, what's she doing at that one joint?
Okay, but while you're changing your clothes and getting ready for Survivor, I'm singing You Got Me Torn in Between the Two. I want more than 10% because Torn in Between the Two was a big hit.
Are you torn between staying at home?
But it's okay.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. like if this is the only job you have, like, you don't get to, you take your 5% and keep it pushing. I feel
we go from 10 to 5. I'm confused.
No. I want to give the girl 10%. She want to get a girl 5.
How do we get from 10 to 5? She's doing a solo and everything. So you just undercut the girls real quick.
I just feel like he said, Beyonce gets more of their cut anyway. Then if you can't even perform the whole time, no, you don't get 10%. That's crazy.
Okay, yeah. I guess what I'm trying to advocate for is that this is an experience. Like, it's Destiny Reloaded. So, like, we're traveling with all of the children through all of their journey. Like, okay.
Right. Okay, question for you two. Who is Destiny's Child?
Beyonce. To me, Destiny's Child is DC3.
Oh.
To me.
See, I think it's all of them minus Farrah.
I don't know. I feel like it's DC3 personally. Granted, I'm younger than y'all, so that could be why. But like the Destiny's Child I know is Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle.
The girls ain't that young now, girl.
Okay, girl. What Portia say? You ain't no spring chicken.
You ain't no spring chicken, girl.
I said younger.
I don't know. Like, I was introduced to Destiny's Child with all 4 of the ladies, and then I don't even include Farrah in that conversation, and then Michelle. So I feel like it's 5 of them.
Yeah, DC3 really is core Destiny's Child for me, but I think you can't leave out the ones that were there during girls' time and all of that. You know what I mean? I think they need to do Where You Are. I want to be where you are. Like, go back to those days. They need to give us No, the slow version. Then they need to go deep, 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 and give us the remix. They need to do all of that, and then excuse me, out the way. Thank you.
I guess in all fairness, Beyonce thinks the same way because when she did Beachella, she only had Kelly and Michelle there as well.
Right. Even Solange was there, but none of the rest of them.
Jay-Z was there, Solange was there, fucking J Balvin was there. Like,
The way it sounds to me, and I could be interpreting this all wrong, is it's coming across like, just be happy that I invited you and you can take this and get some experience and some exposure, but that's it.
No, I feel like they get a check. I just don't think their check should be comparable to Kelly or Michelle's.
Right. It's not even about Beyonce's. I think everyone knows it shouldn't be comparable to hers. But like to Kelly or Michelle's, no, I don't see that for you at all. We're speaking about them now in this moment, but outside of that, when was the last time we spoke about LaToya or Latavia? Even when Beyonce goes on hiatus, girl, we don't talk about them. They're not relevant. That's my point. They haven't been relevant since they were in Destiny's Child. They left Destiny's Child in what, 98?
If I get to Homer right now and disappear in some bushes, I would.
LaToya did what show was LaToya Luckett on? And then with her husband, and then well, I know she was on Black Love, but they were on something else too. Sorry, I'm on her Wikipedia because I'm trying to find the show. It was a reality TV show. I think it was based in Atlanta. See, you're making his point. Like, do we talk about her?
We don't. And every time they've tried to claw their way back into the limelight, it's like for another 15 minutes. It's like, I've never heard of that. I don't. This is Araya laughing in the back for me. That's what took me out just now. The giggle in the back when I said I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Yeah, I don't see if LaToya and Latavia not there, no one gives a fuck.
So does Kelly get a bigger cut than Michelle?
No.
No. How? But Kelly was there from day one.
It's not about tenure.
What's it about?
I don't think it's about tenure. First of all, Michelle has 3 #1 albums. That's one. Okay. Mm-hmm. Kelly ain't got that. If anything, Michelle gets a bigger cut than Kelly.
Controversial statement. Bow, bow, bow.
Is it controversial? Michelle has 3 #1 gospel albums for sure. She's a bona fide celebrity on her own 2 feet. She's on Broadway right now, singing her fucking face off, and carrying that show. She did it in Chicago. Like, she's a bona fide star and celebrity on her own. We were just wondering what the fuck Kelly was doing. Just now in the last part of this conversation.
I think the last thing was that Tyler Perry movie she did on Netflix.
That everyone said was a flop.
I don't even know the name of it. I'm gonna butcher it. I don't even want to say what it is.
Everyone said it was a flop, child. That's why I don't know the name of it.
She did a Tyler Perry movie. That makes me sad.
People didn't even know that it even existed, child. It's given very much. I never heard of that.
So basically, it's Beyonce and the Girls. That's what the name of the concert is. It's not Destiny Reloaded. It's Beyonce and the Girls and some children. Beyonce and some children.
Beyonce, Kelly, Michelle, and the Girls. I think Kelly and Michelle can have a name.
I think it's Beyonce, ... Kelly and Michelle, ... and the Girls.
Right. Me, them, and them.
Right.
Us three need to come out one night only. 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 Throw 'em the skinny bitches like I 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 throw 'em the skinny I got their numbers, Ribby. I got their numbers, Ribby. I got their numbers, Ribby. I got their numbers. I got their numbers. Ribby talking soon. 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 Us three need to come out one night only. One night only. One night only.
February fashion recap. February's fashion scene felt a bit dull. Even with Fashion Month in full swing, the energy was very low-key. Likely due to politics and the election. At New York Fashion Week, the mood was off. Lots of fake smiles. People seemed very uneasy. It was almost as if people were waiting for someone to say something political. Very weird. Trending right now, tailored looks. The main takeaways: suiting and suiting separates are in. Expect fine fabrics and sharp tailoring to dominate all of 2025. The Met Gala's theme this year fits right in. We're expecting polished looks and a sophisticated aesthetic, so I'm excited. Pop of color, lavender. lavender stood out at New York Fashion Week. In a sea of neutrals, even I was in black. 2 different women wore vivid lavender coats. It was definitely refreshing and eye-catching to see lavender have its moment. Very pretty. Retail shakeups. So in case you missed it, Joann's Fabrics is closing. With sales down and online competition up, Joann's just couldn't keep up. Forever 21 files for bankruptcy again. Overexpansion, extremely cheap clothes, changing shopper habits, and tough online competition. The brand is just folding. You know, Amazon, Temu, Fashion Nova, you name it, all of these major retailers have just knocked them out of the park. Now, here's the challenge coming out of February going into March. The fragrance and perfume industry will be experiencing some major shifts in the months to come. So the challenge, again, coming out of February and going into March, is for you to find 2 signature scents. One for the daytime and one for the nighttime. You want to do this throughout the month of March so you can be ahead of the financial curve that is going to hit the fragrance and perfume industry. Good luck.
Pay Ashanti her money. That's what you need to do.
I'm still kind of weak off of I wish you would let somebody else eat. What kind of hating ass shit?
To be honest, I have just been on this, like, I need to protect my daughter at all costs, you know. This month alone, I mean, when you wake up every single day to breaking news, it's like I just want my baby to grow up in a world that is going to accept her. And I don't know what that is going to look like right now because we are in a very scary time. And I just want to be able to protect her to the best of my ability. I have not even thought as far as, like, you know, the legacy that I want to leave behind. I just want you to be a good person. I just want you to be one of those good people. God is still working on me, but her other mother has the heart of gold, and I want you to lead and I want you to follow in that direction because she is like the next thing to Christ. I promise you. Tempest knows Janae. I mean, like, she's a freaking angel with a halo on top of her head. And I just want you to be one of those people. I just want you to be a kind-hearted individual who is going to treat everyone with respect, you know? Even if they don't treat you with respect, still be the bigger person and have that heart of gold to where you walk away knowing that you did all you could do to be as respectful as you could to that person. You know, me on the other hand, I'm gonna cuss you out and I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna go crazy and I'm gonna pull your hair and I'm gonna do all this other stuff. So I need you to be like your mama, because mommy is not, she's a work in progress, right? But I think for her, I really want her to just grow up to be a really good person.
We always prevail. We always push through. We always survive, no matter what. Jim Crow, racism, slavery. We always, Roe v. Wade, whatever is put in front of us.
Gone are the days when we hid in shame. Gone are the days when we tried to change our name. We won't hide in the shadows or lurk by the door. We'll be loud, we'll be proud. Our heritage will soar. We celebrate our brothers and sisters, diverse in their ways. But this is the year we demand respect and our praise. It won't just impact your pockets, it'll be hard to resist. You'll hear us, see us, and know who we are. We will not stay silent, we've come from afar. No more standing back or letting you decide. We won't be the spook that waits on the side. We don't need your table, we'll build our own. Brick by brick, the land is ours to own.
Cause I'm black, nigga the black, the nigga black, nigga the black, the nigga out black, nigga the black, the nigga black, the nigga black, the nigga I'm black and I'm proud, I'm black and I'm proud, I'm black and I'm proud, I'm black and I'm proud. You got to shake it, shake, 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 shake. They want the black, cause I'm black, nigga the black, the black, nigga the black. I can never be white, the 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 white.